even if you're not here with me live, I appreciate you being here to watch my reaction. First of all, I want to clear this out because 91% and 77% looks like I was horribly wrong. Both my subscribers and I got 11 fights correct out of 14. No, I got 11 fights out of 14, and then I got only three wrong. And then my subscribers got 11, but they only got one wrong. And I'll explain throughout the video. Obviously, there are specific picks they couldn't adjust to. So who knows? Maybe they might have gotten more or less, but nonetheless, we both got 11. Just that the difference is they got only one wrong and I got three right, so which is not that bad, you know. Let me go through the whole card. Johnson versus Estevan. Johnson looked good, but I think Estevan looked sensational, in my personal opinion. I think the guy is an incredible prospect. I feel like he needs to work on his cardio, but I think he's an incredible prospect. But the thing about these prospects is that they're so technically good, but they push such an incredible pace that it's unrealistic that it's going to actually be sustainable for 3 rounds. So I just feel like he should just work on his cardio, and I think he's going to be an incredible prospect. Yeah, on to the next one. Ogden versus Mortar. Ogden versus Mortar. This one surprised me because honestly, I didn't think much of Ogden. Um, I just felt like he was just another, fighter. I didn't feel like both Mortar and Ogden were in any way good. I just felt like they were basic fighters, and yeah, Ogden surprised me because he dominated that fight everywhere it went, whether it was on the feet or on the ground. Like he was winning all the exchanges, and I'm super excited to see what he does in the future because I feel like maybe also the fact that he's also a coach is helping significantly. I just hope my internet is performing properly. Okay, let me finish speaking about this particular fight. So I'm looking forward to Ogden's performance in the future and I'm glad that the fight was overturned because it was crazy for number one the referee, irrespective of how early the stoppage was. There was no way, there was no way Morta was going to win that fight. Absolutely no way. Even if he managed somehow to get out of that particular situation, Morta would have never won that particular fight. So it was crazy to me to even hear the referee saying it was a no contest because Ogden actually dominated the whole entire fight and was actually on the verge of a finish. So it was crazy for me to even think that it was even possible for him to even suggest a no contest. He could have, I don't know if they have that kind of power, but put them back in that particular position and let them continue. And let's see if Morta would have actually gotten out of that situation. Or alternatively, you remove the third round or you judge it up until that bad stoppage. Still, Ogden would have won. If you exclude the third round, still Ogden would have won. So it wouldn't have made sense for them to say no, it's not a it's a no contest, purely because what do you call him? Purely because the stoppage was bad. Like the referee tried to screw two people in one night. I mean, it didn't screw Morta because it's not like Morta was going to win that fight, but he would have screwed Ogden, But I'm glad the decision was overturned. Ogden actually won, and my subscribers and I were correct on this one. On the first one, my subscribers actually picked Johnson, and I picked Estevan. On to the next one, Pudilova versus is it Pudilova versus Perez? My subscribers and I went with Perez. I feel like Perez is an incredible prospect. She just needs to work on her cardio, but she looked incredible. She will really become a dangerous contender. And plus, the post-fight, performances are really nice. Yeah. If you know, you know. So yeah, I think she's going to be a really fun prospect to watch out for. She just needs to, improve her cardio and obviously overall improve in order for her to compete at the highest level. My subscribers and I also picked Perez on this one, so we were right. On to the next one. Jacob versus Lucas Alexander. Um, I told myself, I was like, you know what? After the first few minutes, I was like, okay, maybe it's not Jacob's night, right? Because Lucas Alexander looked incredible in the first few minutes of that particular fight. So in my head, I was like, okay, I think maybe Jacob might be losing this particular fight. And then, boom, the guy turns it around. Um, Jacob is so powerful because I didn't even imagine that that kind of a shot would actually drop him. And he was so accurate in finishing him, he didn't miss. So like that was an incredible fight. I enjoyed it while it lasted. Um, yeah, I think that's the most part. Me and my subscribers also picked Jaka to win, and we were right on this particular fight. On to the next one, Parkin versus Makado. For someone who trains with Tom Aspinall, Parkin looked horrible. He looked horrible. I feel like if Mercado had enough cardio, he would have beaten Parkin. In fact, of both Parkin and Mercado, I'd say even in a loss, Mercado is the better fighter. You know, he is the better contender in my personal opinion. He is the better prospect. He is the potential title contender in my personal opinion. Um, Largely because he has incredible boxing. He has incredible accuracy, in my personal opinion. So if he just rounds up his skills, make sure that you're not easy to take down, and when you're taking down, you can get back up. Because one of the reasons why I'm not that impressed with Parkin was that he had so many dominant positions, and he 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 didn't do anything with them. So for me, if you have so many dominant positions and you do not do anything with them, even though he's undefeated, to me it really doesn't mean anything, because he had dominant positions and he didn't do anything with them. So of the two, even though Mercado lost, even though I picked the Parkin, my subscribers and I picked the Parkin, I still feel like Mercado is going to be at title contention before Parkin. Parkin looked horrible in that particular fight. With cardio, Mercado will go very far. With enough defensive wrestling, Mercado will go very far. But nonetheless, I picked Parkin along with my subscribers. On to the next one. Christian Leroy versus Dennis. Um, Damn, Dennis looked good, but I think one of the things that stood out for me was his chin. In most cases, I don't like praising people for their chin because, in the long run, it's not healthy because it can come with damages that could affect you in the long run, you know. So having a strong chin means that within the next few years you might have problems. Mentally you might have problems, but the guy has a chin, and the chin is good because it helps you in a fight, because when a fighter lands their biggest shot and they don't drop you and you're still there, that's how fighters are most of the time. That's how fighters break. That's why you see a lot of these prospects, um, who are used to finishing fights. Um, they get in there and then they start doing their thing, and when they don't finish you, then they start to break. So that's what I thought from, or rather, that's what I thought would happen. But Christian Leroy Duncan was incredible. You know, the guy is dynamic. The guy is incredibly talented as a striker, and he showed it off. Um, I picked Christian Duncan. Yeah, I picked Christian Duncan. My subscribers could not pick in this particular situation because their pick was changed. Like the fight was changed last minute. That's one of the reasons. Oh my God, I feel like okay. I hope this internet is performing well because I made an effort. Otherwise, I just have to get 5G. Like, I want you guys to be able to have a good experience. But let me continue. Christian Leroy, yeah. So I picked Christian Leroy. My subscribers didn't have the opportunity to do so. On to the next one, Chad versus Jose. Not to sound smart, but a lot of my breakdowns are very insightful and lead to almost accurate predictions of a fight. You know, because I did actually say Jorge on the feet or on the ground. It doesn't matter where the fight goes. I still feel like um, Jose Johnson is going to dominate that particular exchange, irrespective of where the fight goes. And I was right, man. I was right. On the feet, I felt like Jose was the better striker, even though Chad, you know, had his moments. I feel like Jose was the better striker. On the ground, Chad couldn't even hold down Jose. Every time they would scramble, even if Chad would get like a dominant position, somehow Jose would find a way to turn it around, and he ended up finishing him. So I was right. My subscribers also picked Jose. So yeah, we got this one right. On to the next one, Piers versus Brito. Um, I feel like Piers was winning this particular fight and he got reckless, and Brito actually punished him for it. And on another thing is, I thought, like most prospects, when they can't finish you in the first round, they break. Brito didn't. You know, I didn't expect that from him. The guy is physically strong. I think that's why he's able to knock people out. Like, he's physically strong, not just with regards to grappling, because like the commentators were saying, a lot of Brito's success when it came to what do you call it? When it came to grappling, it was largely because of his physical strength, and it wasn't necessarily technique that was winning him, or rather that was keeping him alive in that particular exchange. I feel like a lot of it was strength that was actually keeping him there in that particular fight. So it was impressive to see him go through everything that Pierce put on him, and to actually end up getting a submission. That was crazy. I didn't even expect it from him. So yeah, I guess he proved me wrong because I wasn't one of those people who actually were on the hype. I still feel like Pierce was winning that particular fight. He just got reckless and got punished. He got overzealous. Maybe he got irritated by Brito barking at him and saying all these things on the ground, and he got maybe emotional, and that interfered with his technique. even though technique was there, but I feel like he got reckless and got caught. Like he made a mistake that he shouldn't have. But again, credit to Brito. He showed me he has an unbreakable fighting spirit, and I saw it because in that particular situation, a lot of fighters, especially prospects, new prospects who are used to winning and finishing fights, I think a lot of them would have broken at that point. Um, Brito didn't, and credit to him, man. My subscribers picked Brito, I picked Pierce. On to the next one, Medic versus Oral Bay. Um, yeah, okay. I feel like I'm at the office, so I just want to check if there's anyone who came into the office. Okay, yeah, there's no one. Let me go back and do my thing, do my thing. So Aralbi versus Oral versus Oral versus Medic, right? I didn't expect that from Oral Bay. The guy came in like with this is insane. This guy came in on 4 days' notice, which is one of the leading reasons, the only reason why I didn't pick him, was because this guy was coming in on 4 days' notice. This guy came in on 4 days' notice and dominated Medic, guys. Like, this is insane. This is crazy. So, this guy, it was unbelievable to watch. I was like, is this actually happening? Because, I mean, Medic is not just like an average fighter. The guy has 100% finishing rate and had only lost one fight, if I remember correctly. So this wasn't just an ordinary guy. And this dude came in on 4 days' notice and dominated this guy, which is insane, man. And I don't understand why he's moving to, why he says he wants to move to 155. I feel like he's still going to do well at light heavyweight. I feel like he's still going to do well at the lightweight, but I think he has a better chance at becoming a champion a lot quicker at 170 because a lot of 155ers are not active. Like the dudes just like to hold their ranks and just maintain it by fighting maybe once a year or twice. Okay, twice is too much. Maybe once a year. A lot of people at lightweight are not extremely active, except maybe people between number 6 and number maybe 10. Top 5 and bottom 15, for some reason they're not that active. So I feel like even if the more you are good, the less likely it is that ranked fighters will want to fight you. What you are going to have to do is fight the lower ranked opponents in order to raise up the ranks up until you get pushed into the rankings because of the amount of people that you've been beating, not because you beat an actually ranked fighter, because that's what happened to Islam. The guy didn't have opponents to fight, and that's how he eventually got a title shot from beating Bobby Green because no one would actually fight the guy. So I feel like 170 fighters are more willing to fight as opposed to 155 guys. So I wish Orobai would stay at 170. There's some incredible fights there. Shafkat Rachmanov, Jack Della Maddalena, Kevin Holland. There's so many incredible fights there for him. But I honestly think we're looking at a future champion, in my personal opinion. I don't know if he can beat Islam, but the guy probably has a chance. The guy is really good. You don't come in on 4 days' notice and do that to someone who actually finishes fights. 100% finish rate. And he did that to Medic in 4 days, guys. That's crazy to me. I was at awe while I was watching that fight. This is one of the fights that my subscribers couldn't pick on because the fight was changed last minute. I simply went with Medic. with a 80% takedown defense coming in. Couldn't I was in shock, Tweezy. Like I was in shock, dude. Like I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like I couldn't believe what I was watching at that particular point in time. And that's why I picked Medic. I was like, there's no way this guy is going to beat this dude um, at such a short period, or rather with such a short notice. But he did it, which makes me a little bit more confident about my pick of Tsarukian. Obviously, I'll break this fight down on Friday when I do my official and final breakdowns of the whole entire card. But this makes me feel comfortable with my pick for Tsarukian over Benil because I think that fight, that main event, is going to be close. It's going to. He was a minus 200 in PFL last time. Makes. I was also confused why they picked him. I was also confused why they picked him over to be the favorite. Like even though he was coming in on short notice, now I understand. I was confused. I even said it on my breakdown. I was like, why is this guy like the favorite when he's the one coming in on short notice? So it was crazy. But now it makes me feel comfortable with my pick of Tsarukian over Dariush because in my head I couldn't get out the idea or rather the image and that fight of Islam versus Arman Tsarukian because that was an incredible fight, especially with the scrambles. Um, I think Tsarukian lost to Gamrot. It was number one, a close decision. Number two, I feel like he was not willing to scramble. And I feel like Gamrot is also strong. The biggest mistake that I feel like Gamrot made against Dariush was that he chose to strike with him. I think the camp was largely focused on striking instead of actually wrestling, which is where I think he would have had success. So I think Dariush, what do you call him? Zarukian is actually going to actually focus on wrestling. I think so. Because in my personal opinion, that's where his best chance at success will be. If he grapples him to a decision or somehow manages to submit him. Because I feel like Tarukian is a lot more stronger than Dariush. Dariush is the better striker, do not get it wrong there. But there are so many other elements that I feel like are going to give Tarukian an advantage. This is going to be, this coming card will be the first card whereby I've implemented my new tweaks to my picking strategy. So hopefully it will increase. But it's not bad. I got 11 out of 14. I only got 3 wrong, so that's not bad. My subscribers only got 1 wrong, even though they also got 11, but they only got 1 wrong. And it's only because the fights that they picked on were changed. So I guess we'll just have to see next week. But for now, I'll talk about this fight. I'm so excited. I'm even breaking down this fight on the wrong video. It's supposed to be this Friday. I'm going to break all of this down Friday. So let me not go too much into those particular fights. So let me move on to the next fight. Pinheiro versus Ribas. Um, Ribas was horrible. Nice. I did the same, but I accidentally put Uruguay and didn't notice. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hopefully next time you'll be a little bit more careful. Sorry. Let me finish up and talk a bit after I'm done. Pinheiro versus Ribas. I think Pinheiro is not, or rather, I think Pinheiro is good. She was the more technical fighter. She was better in every single way imaginable, in my personal opinion. The reason why she lost, I feel like, was largely because of cardio. And I know a lot of people will think, well, it was the leg kicks, it was the leg kicks. It wasn't the leg kicks, guys. It wasn't the leg kicks. She got tired. The leg kicks may have contributed to some extent, but it wasn't them. She got tired. technically, I still feel like Pinheiro is the better fighter, and she has the better chance of actually becoming a title contender than Ribas. Ribas, I don't see Ribas ever fighting for a title. Her striking is horrible. She only gets better once the fighters get tired, which will not work in the top five because they're going to finish her. So she'll never get to a point where, but unless she improves somehow. Whereas on the other hand, what Pinheiro needs to do is just improve her cardio, and she's going to perform well. But nonetheless, I changed my pick to pick Rebus last week, Friday, during my breakdown. My subscribers also picked Rebus. So, yeah, we got this one correct. I still can't believe my subscribers beat me so much, like, even though I got only two extra fights wrong, it hurts my feelings that I'm at 77 and then the subscribers are at 91. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it breaks my heart because, but it's a collection of different people around the world, and I'm just one human being. The fact that I can compete with them, it makes me feel better about how good I am at this. But on to the next one. Um, Peyton versus Nick. Damn, I thought Peyton was one of those one-dimensional prospects. I didn't expect him to go anywhere beyond just being, unranked. But that kid was incredible. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I remember in my breakdown, I was saying that his only way to success would be through what do you call it, striking. I thought it was good. What's good, fam? No, it's awesome. I'm just going to reply to you guys once I'm done. You can put in your any questions that you want to ask. I'll reply to you when I'm done with this reaction. By the way, I've seen you, I think, a couple of times. I break down my fights. There was someone who was asking me when I do my breakdowns because they recently found my channel and they like how I do things. So if any of you, even those that are going to watch this after I'm done going live, I break down my fights every Friday. I schedule the fights usually on Thursday so that everyone, because my channel is being watched by people from 50 different countries, I don't like to give a specific time. I just schedule the fights and you'll see the time on in your time zone. So if I schedule it for 2 p.m. South African time, for example, if you are in Brazil or if you are in Canada or in the United States, it's going to appear in your time zone. So whatever time I'm going to be live, it'll show there. So check the schedule in the live section of my channel on Thursday. So yeah, let me continue with this. I don't see anyone beating Peyton at bantamweight, in my personal opinion. Honestly, I think he's one of the most incredibly talented prospects in that particular division. From the champion Sean O'Malley, Marab, Aljamain Sterling, and I'm a huge fan of Aljamain Sterling and Marab, but in my honest opinion, that I can't imagine anyone beating Peyton at this point. Because before this fight, I thought of him as just a one-dimensional fighter, but at this point, I feel like he's significantly better than a lot of people at bantamweight. So I'm incredibly excited, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this kid will be a title contender within the next 2 years, depending on his activity. I can promise you that. If this kid stays active and fights at least 3 times in this particular every single year, I think he's going to be fighting for a belt within the next 2 years. It's kind of like a better version of Sean O'Malley. He has personality. He's flipping good at fighting, and he's marketable. So the UFC will definitely push him. So yeah, my subscribers and I picked Peyton. So yeah, that was a correct move, by the way. I think Sanhagen, no. Sanhagen, I don't think Sanhagen can beat this dude, man. Sanhagen struggled against, who's this dude who had a shoulder issue. Even though I get that I think Sanhagen actually won that fight. Um, but nonetheless, I don't think Sanhagen would actually beat this dude. Especially because Sanhagen is not that great on the ground. He's improving. He's improving, but I don't think he's that good on the ground. So I think Peyton would actually submit him if he tried to grapple with him, and if he tried to strike, Peyton would knock him out. I honestly don't think that Sanhagen would actually win that fight. But moving on, we picked. I think he has gotten that much better. Okay, I guess we'll just have to see. The nice part is we have time, and I'll always be here. Hopefully, you guys will be here. We'll discuss this. You can bring it up in the future because I can guarantee you this kid will be in the top five within maybe the next year or 2 years. So we'll discuss it because I think it will happen at some point. Um, so on to the next one, Morales versus Matthews. Wow, here's another prospect, man. First of all, Sanhagen would beat Peyton, my friend. I think Peyton will be a potentially ranked. Ah, no, guys. I guess we just have to agree to disagree, right? I get that. The both of you agree that Sanhagen will actually beat Peyton. Right now, I still don't believe that. If they would announce a fight today and say Sanhagen is fighting Peyton, I think Peyton would either knock him out or submit him. That's my view. Um, because I also look at strength. People like Brito, I feel like Peyton has the kind of strength that Joe Anderson Brito has. Even though I didn't pick Brito to win that particular fight, there are people who are so physically strong. People like Islam. Do you remember who do you call it? Bobby Green, how he described how strong Islam is. I feel like Peyton is the same way Brito is, the same way Morales is. Like Morales is incredibly physically strong. I think Matthews is the same way, which is crazy because I don't feel like these particular people. It's crazy that these people are not even ranked yet. Like it's mind blowing to me that both Morales and Matthews are not ranked because they are so incredibly gifted. That fight was incredible to watch. That fight, like I couldn't believe what I was seeing because I thought that Morales' best path to victory would have been to actually grapple. What do you call him? To actually grapple Matthews because Matthews I think has a win over Li Jingliang among other like top strikers in the welterweight division. So to me, I thought, okay, the best way to success is to grapple him, and damn, Morales looked incredible as a striker. That's why I'm saying like the welterweight division might eventually become even better than 155. The boring part, and I've already said this, the boring part about 155 is that the people there just hold ranks. They're not that active, and it's really boring to have so much talent and the people avoiding fights. Now 155 looks incredible. I mean, 170, people like Jack De La Madalena, Shavkat Rachmanov, what do you call him? There's so many incredible fighters, and now Morales and Matthews. It's crazy. I still can't believe that these two fighters are not ranked. And yet Kobe has not beaten anyone in the top 15 currently and is fighting for the belt. But that's a story for another day. We'll discuss it when we get to the breakdowns for UFC 296. We can have a debate. I know there are people who like Kobe, but I don't feel like the guy is that good. And I think Leon is going to knock him out. Irrespective of how much he thinks he's improved, he's not going to win that fight. But we'll talk about it when we get to it. On this fight, I was really impressed with Morales' striking. It was incredible. Only possible way for that to happen, though. No, I can promise you that even if it goes to a decision, Leon is going to win that fight. I can promise you that because if he was able to win, even though this is not MMA math, right? But look at Usman is physically strong. Kobe is not physically strong. So even if he can weaponize pace, he's not as young as he used to be. So the pace won't be the same. Kobe is like 35 now, or 36. His pace will not be the same as when he was 29 or something like that. Look at Chimaev now. I doubt Chimaev will still be the same at the age of 36. That's why John Jones was slowing down at light heavyweight, and that's why he decided to go to heavyweight because he was slowing down. Yeah, Leon is going to, whether it's decision or whether it's finished, Leon is going to win. And a lot of people are going to be shocked because a lot of people say, no, Kobe is going to win with the pace. No, the pace worked when he was young. Now he's no longer young. People forget that age plays a significant factor in how an athlete performs. That's why after 35, you don't see a lot of fighters performing really well. Leon has proven himself against two elite grapplers, Bilal and Kamaru Usman. Yeah, and he was beating up Bilal in that particular fight. I love Bilal, but Leon was beating him up. But back to Morales. I think this is the 170 division has incredible prospects, man. I'm excited to see what happens in the future. So yeah, I went with Morales along with my subscribers, but I still can't believe that people like Matthews and Morales are not ranked because I think these are the type of fighters that would give a lot of ranked fighters a problem. But yeah, congrats to Morales. I think Matthews will be in the rankings if he just remains active. Allen versus Craig. This was probably the most shocking fight of them all. Even though I picked Allen, I didn't think he was anything special. Clearly, the guy is improving because to be able to do what he did to Craig on the ground is unbelievable. I, Tweezy, what are you referring to when you say really? Tell me what you're referring to. I didn't think Alan was special. If that's what you were referring to, yeah, I didn't think Alan was special. I just thought he was basic. The people that he was beating were not, in my personal opinion, that great. So I didn't feel like what he was doing was special. I just felt like it was okay. But I love I feel like if Craig can't get a submission, he will get dominated almost every fight. Yeah, but even if that's the case, but still, he has beaten a lot of top contenders. Jamal Hill, I think, is one of the best light heavyweights, in my personal opinion, and I think he stands a really good chance at beating Alex Pereira. But still, Craig managed to submit him. That's why I'm saying it was crazy for me that Allen was able to do that to Craig on the ground. On the feet, I was expecting Allen to be the better fighter. I didn't expect Allen to perform that well on the ground. Even though I picked him, if you look at my previous breakdown, I was like, Allen is only good enough to prevent getting in danger, not being offensive. I didn't think he was good enough to be offensive. I felt like he was good enough to be away from danger. At this point, in his last performances, I didn't feel like he was a championship level fighter, in my personal opinion. Um, but this time, I'm even not sure if Bo Nickel or Hamza Chimaev beat this guy. I don't know. I don't know at this point. I don't know. That fight would be incredibly interesting, but the difference is Chimaev and Bo Nickel are incredibly talented at actually getting the fight to the ground and being the aggressors. I think that's both Bo Nickel and Chimaev's advantage. They are they put up an incredible pace, I think that's why Chimaev gets tired, and I think people don't realize that. They say, no, he has a gas problem. No, look at Chimaev's pace. Look at the Gilbert Burns fight. Like the pace was insane. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of this particular video. If you look at Burns' preparation for the Chimaev fight, that will show you how well conditioned Hamza Chimaev is. Because the conditioning for Burns was insane to look at. It was insane to look at. So if Burns was that conditioned and he still lost, then it should show you how incredibly conditioned the Chimaev is. I think the problem is Chimaev doesn't know how to manage his energy. He dumps it in the first round, and then fortunately for him, after the first round, a lot of fighters are scared to approach him because of what happened to them in the in the first rounds. So in the second round, they test out, can I go forward? Can I go forward? And then they're like, okay, maybe I can go forward. But still, in the second round, Chimaev somehow manages to win the round. In the third round, that's when they get the success. Um, True, I did not see Alan getting the sub over the KO. Imagine was easier. Yeah, that's what I imagined would happen. I thought Craig would actually be forced to stand instead of actually grappling with Allen, but damn it, the dude looked incredible, and I'm excited to see what happens in that particular division. But I think by next year or 2025, there will be new faces in the top five because I don't think, what do you call him, Vittori will beat Allen. I don't think Vittori will beat Dricus Duplessis. I don't think maybe Jared, but Jared is old now, so I feel like he's going to lose his next fight. I think he's pushing 40 now, so he's going to lose his next fight. I love Jared, but he got serious about his career a little bit too late. He could have been this incredible from the beginning, but he wasted his time at heavyweight and light heavyweight. If he had started at middleweight, he probably might. I'm not saying he would, but he might have been champion. So I don't see anyone in the top five being able to beat some of the up and coming prospects like Shara Bullet, the dude that we saw making his debut. There are so many prospects that are coming up that are going to just remove the top five. Even Robert Whitaker, I don't feel like he's going to be in that position for a very long time. So a lot of people are going to be replaced within the next few years. But I'm really excited about Allen. I'm looking forward to what he does. Yeah, I think I'm done. My subscribers, I think I've repeated this so many times because I'm proud of myself and my subscribers. It shows how well educated my subscribers are with their picks and at the sport. And I want to encourage everyone to actually participate. You know, the more accurate the picks are, it makes it easier for you guys. You know. But I've also made my adjustments in order to make sure I get better picks. But I got 11. My subscribers got 11. My subscribers only got one wrong. I got three wrong. So which is not that bad. But I don't want to get three wrong. I want on my worst day, I want to be able to get maybe only two wrong at most. I want to get it to that point on my worst day. But I'm happy with the results because I saw other channels, a lot bigger channels. I think you know them. Their picks were horrible. I think they got only six correct out of 14. I'm not gonna mention names because I like some of them, but their picks were horrible, guys. Go look at their picks. Go look at their picks. Their picks were horrible. I will say it now. Go compare my picks to theirs. They got like six bigger channels with like 400, is it 200 and something thousand subscribers, like different people. Their picks were horrible. Did you ever make the typology? No, like I'm so busy with the channel that it's really difficult to do anything else outside of it. Also with work, when I'm not working, even now, I'm using work time to actually do this live. So I'm just happy no client has come into the office as yet. So I haven't had any opportunity. When I'm done here, I'm going to work. When I get home, I have to work on the channel. I make about 20 videos or more every single day. If you watch the standard video section, I have videos coming out every day. If you watch the shorts section on the channel, I have videos coming out every day. Also, even though I make 2 live videos each week, Monday and Friday, the preparation, especially when it comes to breakdowns, I prepare the whole week, because there are usually 14 fights that I have to prepare for, and sometimes there are changes that happen. So whenever I have to do something, it ends up being postponed. But I'll get to topology. I just haven't had that time, and the free time that I get, I relax, you know. But I'll make sure that I get to it. That's why I was suggesting maybe we can even talk on other platforms. But nonetheless, I'll try to get to it. I'll let you know. Obviously, you know that if you want to get to me, you just make and what do you call it? A comment. Like don't reply to other comments. Make like a new comment, and I'll see it under the section of new comments. Then I'll be able to reply to it properly. So if you want to talk to me, just make any comment on it, any part of the channel. New comments. Don't reply to other comments so that I can see it under the section for new comments. But yeah, other than that, I'm just happy I'm able to perform this well while I'm doing so much alone. Like, go through the channel, just look at everything. It's all me. Like, there's no one helping me. So, for me to be able to perform like that, when channels bigger than mine are getting significantly large, amount of views, and I'm able to surpass them by so much, because not that wrong. I can't remember the last time I've been that to get 6 out of 14. No, that has that has never happened. So I'm glad I'm able to perform this well, and I'm going to continue to try and improve for you guys, because I'm passionate. I've always wanted a community to communicate with. And that's why I respond to every comment, and that's why I love interacting with you guys live. So if you are watching this after I've went live, because I'm about to end the live soon. If you are watching this after I've went live, come join me live, guys. Like, I love communicating with you live, especially because in most cases I'm communicating with Tweezy, because he's the one who's usually live with me throughout the entire live video, and who actually interacts with me. So I want to talk to you guys. That's why if you go to any part of my channel, I responded to every single comment, and I get hundreds to thousands of comments every single month. But I try to respond to all of them because I want to talk to you guys. Even though I have so much going on, you guys are really important to me, and I want to interact with you. That's why I started doing these lives. So when you are able to, please join me live, guys. If I would repeat the times that I go live, because I guess sometimes maybe it's scheduling, maybe sometimes when I go live, maybe on your part of the world it's nighttime or you're busy with something. I understand that. But for those who can join me live, please join me live. Where usually I schedule my lives 2 days or a day before. So for Monday lives, just check on Sunday, and then for my breakdowns on Friday, just check between Wednesday and Thursday, the live section, so that you can get the accurate time. I sometimes move the time by 30 minutes or something like that, because I'm still preparing and reading through the notes that I made for you guys, because I do research. So yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you Friday. I'm looking forward to breaking down this particular upcoming card. Yeah, and I have plans for December. I would like for us to maybe discuss certain things. I have certain ideas. I want us to do, I think I spoke about this. I want us to do nominations and have our own awards for. Thank you, Jay. I think I'll call you Jay Z because that's your name on this. because it's AWJZ MMA, so I'll just call you Jay Z. Thanks, Jay Z. But I want us to discuss awards, like giving out knockout of the year, fighter of the year, and all those type of things, and I'll compile it into a nice standard video for December because there won't be any fights. So I still want to produce content for you guys. So I want to introduce like voting, the way I've been doing with upcoming fights. The way subscribers pick who they think is going to win, I want you guys to pick who do you think deserves fighter of the year, knockout of the year, the best fight of the year, performance of the year. I think I might change my name to Jay Z. Do that. It's a little bit shorter, and it's awesome. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. Change it to that. See you guys Friday, all in the comments. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you, but I appreciate you mostly, especially people like you, Jay Z and Twizy, people who are live with me. I love talking to you guys because it feels weird to go live and just talk, even though people watch after, but it feels weird to be talking on my own. See you Friday. Deuces.